Well, I think, Alex Murphy, we can expect a passionate Welsh performance tonight.
Well, if it's anything to do with the national anthems, I think Wales just go out on points. That was a tremendous welcome to the Welsh lads. It's a very, very important game, this. This is not only important for Wales, it's also important for the game of rugby league.
Well, a bit of a blow leading up to kick-off, as we've been hearing, of course. Scott Gibbs failing a fitness test around about an hour before kick-off. And they've got Iestyn Harris at fullback, and how much of a blow is that to the Welsh side, Alex?
Well, obviously, anybody with the class of John Devereux back in the side, I mean, Scott Gibbs will be missed, but I think to put Devereux back in the side is a big bonus, because I think he's a world-class player anyway. Anybody will miss people like Scott Gibbs, and it is a big blow. But the lad is dead right. He's not 100% fit, therefore he's not fit to play, and that's the way it should be.
Well, Wales starts off with Iestyn Harris at fullback. Hadley comes in because of that injury situation to Scott Gibbs. That's something of a reshuffle across the backs. That's Adrian Hadley and Anthony Sullivan on the wings. John Devereux comes into that centre position. Alan Bateman, Jonathan Davis and Kevin Ellis at half-back. Kelvin Skerrett along with Martin Hall, David Young and Paul Moriarty. Scott Quinnell and Rich Ayres at loose forward. Neil Cowie, Kieran Cunningham and Philip Rowland, and of course Paul Aitchison, a chance for him on the substitutes bench. And really, they've got a big task on the hands here tonight, Alex.
Yes, and a lot really depends on Jonathan Davis. He's got to have a big game tonight, not just his kicking but also his general play. A lot of people will be looking for big things from Jonathan and from the Welsh lads. If you gather, there'll be no shortages of sport for the Welsh team. It is absolutely electrifying here.
And we're going to see the haka. That gives me an opportunity to tell you that Western Samoa line up like this. Paddy Tumavi at fullback with his brother, of course, at loose forward. And just look at the reaction to the haka.
Well, I'm just sat in the stand in, and I'm going to give you out. They are actually frightening me. Look at Twigger Marler here. How would you like to meet him in a dark room?
Well, I better refrain from giving you the remainder of the team. You probably can't hear it anyway. Look at the Welsh lads. Well, they're standing right up to it. There's Martin Hall. Let battle commence, I think, Alex.
Well, I think that tells you one thing. What both these teams want and what they're going to get in the space of 80 minutes is one team progressing to the semi-final. This should be a tremendous battle for both sides. Looking at Western Samoa, they've got loads of talent, and on the other side, you've got Wales with Jonathan Davis, Devereux, Martin Hall, you name it, we've got it.
Well, a lot of people think this could be the best game of the whole tournament. We'll have to wait and see. We've got the whole game live, of course, coming to you from the Vetch Field. That Western Samoa lineup: Paddy Tumavi at fullback, John Schuster the skipper, Tia Rapati, Viega Twigger-Marler. We've already seen how he looks tonight in this game. Brian Lamatavi, Sam Panapa and Willie Swan at halfback, Saya Solimono, Willie Poaching for Stuart Afoa and Tony Tatapu, Via Matatui and Tony Tumavi, the loose forward. Mark Elia, Desi Mayer, Apollo Perolini and Joe Vagana are the substitutes for Western Samoa. I really can't describe the atmosphere at the Vetch any other than absolutely electric. Jonathan Davis, will this be his last international? Well, it won't be, of course, if Wales win.
And there's one good thing about it here. There'll definitely be no shout of heart here. This is going to be a very, very physical encounter, as you can just judge from that first tackle. There'll be nobody who's shouting and lacking courage in this game.
Well, sit back and enjoy the next 80 minutes with us here on live TV, because this has got all the makings of a classic Western Samoa. And just listen to that support for the Welsh team, and they haven't even had possession yet.
No, I think what the Welsh team have got to do is just have make sure the discipline's all right, because the one thing about this Western Samoan side, they're very, very physical, and if Wales get involved and give silly penalties away, they've got a man on the bench, well, on the field here, Schuster, and he can kick them from anywhere. What about that for tackling?
Well, Anthony Sullivan was the Welshman who collected the ball under all that, and again, that discipline you were talking about, and already a bit of it shown there, indiscipline, that, Alex.
Yes, you can't afford to make mistakes at this level, because there's one good thing about this. The Western Samoans, they want to progress to the semi-finals. It'll be a tremendous achievement if they do, but Wales have got a big task here.
And they won't win it by dropping passes. That was Martin Hall and Kelvin Skerrett, the Wigan duo. Skerrett didn't like the challenge.
Yep.
Well, I said it was electric, and I think it's just several people waving handbags about at the moment, but Skerritt is fired up for this one. There's no doubt about that. David Young was involved in the incident as well. And Russell Smith, incidentally, the referee from Castleford, already a problem for him to sort out.
Well, here we see just a bad ball from Martin Hall. Kelvin Skerritt overran the ball, but the actual intensity of this game between it, Skerritt doesn't like that, and he's not allowed to muck about with this fella, but there's some big fellas on the other side as well. This could really get out of hand if Russell Smith doesn't get a grip of it. Skerritt, he was the start of it, obviously didn't like dropping the ball. The Western Samoans just pushed him a little bit, and there is going to be a bit of a problem, but it all depends who keeps the cool and how long they keep it for.
It was Fusui Afua, the Western Samoa, the opposite prop forward, who came in, I think, at the second man on Skerritt. Skerritt obviously frustrated, disappointed, and Wales want the ball, and Western Samoa won't give it to them. Jonathan Davis, well, I don't think he asked too nicely.
Well, maybe they don't understand what he's saying in Welsh. I mean, you know, the Western Samoan lads, maybe they're a little bit mystified what he's saying. All he's got to say is give us the ball, because I'm almost sure that the penalty, it may go against Wales here, because Kelvin Skerritt was the cause of the problem.
Well, I think it should really be a scrum down, Alex.
Well, that is
I don't know how he's worked out that, because the first offence was a knock-on, and I think the Welsh are very lucky to get a penalty.
Oh, that's a shocking decision. I mean, if that's the way Russell Smith started this game, he started with a mistake, because that penalty definitely was started because Skerritt dropped the ball.
Well, he hasn't dropped that one, and look at the intensity of the tackling. It really is absolutely superb at the moment, and Wales inside the Samoan half for the first time in the game. That's Paul Moriarty.
Well, there's going to have to be some brave lads playing out there, and there's going to have to be some very, very controlled tempers out there as well, because one thing about this game, penalties are going to come quick and fast.
And there's one to the Welsh, and Jonathan Davis immediately comes up to take it very quickly. And what's he going to do? He's going to elect a kick for touch, as we see the tackle and exactly what the penalty's for. And a little slap after the ball. Sam Panapper, I think it might have been.
Well, there's a little bit of friction out there, but the tackling's absolutely ferocious. The crowd's really getting to grips with this. They're encouraging the lads to come on, especially the Welsh lads, and the Western Samoans are meeting them.
And Wales are inside the Samoan 20-metre line, making progress. Quinnell, it's his full debut tonight for Wales, and he's offloaded to the ball to Hadley, who makes it a couple of metres away from that Western Samoan try line. There's danger here for the Samoans. There's a ball pin out to Davis. Davis misses out the first man in the line. It's the Estin Harris who linked up from the full-back position. Wales have lost ground, but that's because the tackling's brilliant at the moment from Samoa. Davis on the run, offloads the ball. Devereux trying to get closer to that try line. Great start for the Welsh. Martin Hall from acting half-back. And again, it's Ellis with a long chance and a long ball thrown out to that far side. Wales might be in. Great tackle. Wales can't get the ball down. He couldn't get the ball down. I think it's Scott Quinnell.
No, I think the referee's dead right there. I think you'll find he's been held up just short of the line. The ball, that was great tackling by Thierry Partey. Surely he's not getting the yellow card out. I cannot believe that. The tackle was held, and Thierry Partey is going to spend 10 minutes in the sin bin. What a dramatic start for Western Samoa. Looked like a try for Wales. All the world, it looked like a try. A beautiful ball from Kevin Ellis. Quinnell pushed on it, looked for all the world he was going to fly over here. What a tackle, and a great tackle it was. That was a try-saving tackle. He definitely did not get the ball down.
And it was John Schuster who flew across there. That really was a tremendous tackle, and I think the Samoans can count themselves very, very unlucky to have a player sent to the sin bin. And Wales, of course, now have a penalty and an opportunity to get 2 points. That might just settle them.
Well, they've had 2 penalties, and in my opinion, both penalties should have gone the other way, and I think they can count themselves very, very lucky. It was unlucky not to score there. A tremendous tackle from John Schuster, but again, the penalty's been given because Thierry Partey happened to lie on and just keep the game, keep the man from putting the ball over the line. It's a semi-final place up for grabs here, you know.
Well, we've had a lot of noise at the Vetch, but there won't be very much because the crowd will allow Jonathan Davis to compose himself, because this could be a very, very important 2-pointer for the Welsh. We expected a tight game before kick-off, and you can literally hear the proverbial pin drop at the moment, and it comes now. It looks pretty good, but it's wide. And it hasn't. Yes, it has gone behind. No, it hasn't. Western Samoa will play on, and they're on the move already down the left-hand side. Was he in touch? Well, the touch judge said he was. And again, we've got a little bit of an off-the-ball incident.
Yes,
look at the players piling in there off the ball.
And again, we've got Kelvin Skerridge involved in this. I think he's got to watch himself, Kelvin. You know, he's very, very fired up for this. And the crowd is cheering these lads up. And every time there's players coming in when there's no need to come in. You see Skerridge there coming in. There was no need whatsoever for him to come in for that.
Here come Wales again with Ellis, and that's a lovely one thrown out. The fullback links up. Iestyn Harris has scored! Oh, it was so easy for Harris! He salutes the crowd, and what a start for the Welsh! 6.5 minutes on the clock, and the roof is coming off the Vetch.
Well, we've got the dream start from the wonder boy of Welsh Rugby League, Iestyn Harris. This boy has got one of the biggest futures in Rugby League. A tremendous stride, quick hands from the scrum, but just watch this kid. He is loaded with ability, shows the ball. Some very, very poor defence from Western Samoa, but just look at Iestyn Harris. Does he like that, or does he not? This is a great try again. A beautiful ball from Kevin Ellis. This kid is bubbling with confidence. A magnificent try, a magnificent start, and they're singing already, the Welsh.
And why not? There really is. I must say, Alex, we were talking about bringing the game to the Vetch Field, and it's really paid off. There's a fantastic atmosphere here tonight.
Just listen it, here's what you want, and people say to me, will Rugby League take off in Wales? This is your answer. If they want to see a great game, they're certainly getting it.
2 points coming up for Wales, another 2, they've got 4 already. Make it 6. They're cheering everything in Swansea tonight. The kick-off delayed, of course, 15 minutes. That's why we've only played about 7.5 minutes. And I think, in fairness, we have to say that the sin binning to the Western Samoa player, Tira Party, has unsettled the Samoans.
Let's have a look at the try, though. First of all, let's have a look at Iestyn Harris. This is a classy kid. He knows what he's got to do. He's got Schuster coming across here. This is a magnificent try, and just a try that Wales wanted.
Western Samoa still down to 12 men. Tira Party in the sin bin. It's been a fabulous start for Wales, there is no doubt about that. And they've now got to claw their way back into this game. Both teams, of course, already beaten France. There's Graham Law. Will he be worried, Alex?
He looks a very, very worried man. He's got a man in the sin bin. He knows he's got Wales who've got a score they didn't really want so early in the game. And we've also got a very passionate crowd here enjoying every single tackle, every single drop down. They're getting involved with this game.
Well, this crowd has got to be worth a few points. Start to the Welsh, and look at Quinnell. Is he in touch? The touch judge is right there. Play on. And the Welsh do just that. Look at the tackle, powerhouse tackle. That was via Matatui.
I think what the Western Samoans have got to do is just cool it down a little bit. I think what they're trying to prove is that they're bigger and stronger than the Welsh, and the Welsh are just throwing the ball about and finding 1 or 2 gaps in the Welsh, in the Western Samoan side.
Hall again for the acting halfback, Skerritt. Good tackle again. Tony Tamave doing the tackling. Expect the bomb here from Davis, and there it goes. It's toward that far touchline. The fullback has to backtrack. Paddy Tamave. Look at the intensity of the tackling. That is Rugby League at its very, very best. We've got a cracker here tonight, down in the valleys.
Well, one thing we're not short of here is atmosphere. The Nisi there, you have Alan Bateman there. That was a great run from Bateman. Scott Quinnell has started, and there's a little bit of fisticuffs again here. This is going to have to be sorted out very, very quickly, or we could have a little bit of trouble in this game.
Well, he's not even penalised anybody there. He's allowed play to continue. I can't believe that from Russell Smith. The touch judge is on, and quite rightly.
Well, I think Russell Smith actually kind of missed that. He was nearly all involved with it. I mean, he was so near the play. He's got a bit. And these little, well, the Western Samoans are really getting excited. They've got to cool it down a bit because there's 1 or 2 big lads on the other side as well. This could work out into World War III.
We'll talk about pride and passion.
Well, just watch what happens here. This was a right forearm smash, and there's no way in the world this fella also could go to the sin bin. He's a very lucky lad here. He leads with his elbow. Just watch what happens here. Get out of that. He's got to go.
It's Brian Lamatavic, and Wales have a penalty. Well, Davis has kicked a conversion, missed a penalty chance, but this is easily within Jonathan Davis's range. He called for the sand.
I don't think he's so happy about it, but really he was a very lucky man to stay on the field, Batavi, because he really could have spent 10 minutes in the sin bin. It was a silly thing what he had to do. He had the ball in his hands, Western Samoa got the ball, and Wales finished up with a penalty. They've got to control the tempers, these lads.
We've only had 11 minutes so far, and it's been action-packed from start to finish. There's no doubt about it.
There's the guilty man. He's the guilty man with a penalty. I don't think Graham Lowe will be too happy about that. And there's another man by Iga Twiggamala, and also this is going to be a very, very important game and an important goal for Wales.
Another hush drops and descends on the Vetch Field in Swansea. What a dramatic opening we've had already. Davis has missed it, and that is a very, very bad miss, and it could be crucial.
Well, that is a goal. Jonathan Davis would kick that with his bedroom slippers on. That was a terrible miss, right in front of the post, near enough. And like I say, you've got to take them chances if you want to reach the semi-final of the World Cup. He looked back on that, and that was a very, very bad miss indeed.
Well, he's kicked 1 from 3 now, Jonathan Davis. He won't be happy because all 3 could and should possibly have gone over. There's the try scorer, Iestyn Harris. Moves it up very, very quickly again. Immediately, Martin Hall goes into that acting half-back position, and he sets off on a run. But again, the tackling is so fierce. That's Tony Tatapi.
I think he just caught a little bit of a knock there, Martin Hall. I think Kevin Ellis is telling him he's injured. Get up and play the ball. I think it was just an accident, actually. He just caught him on the knee. I think he'll find out as he went down. He felt that, and again, knees went in after the tackle.
Well, surely they can't keep this up for 80 minutes, Alex.
Well, the very, very fit lads out there, both sides have been training very hard for this. Don't forget out here, this is a dream. It's a dream for Wales and a dream.
There goes David Young on a break as well, and he's piling forward. Nobody could get close to him. Was that a penalty? Play on, we're on the last tackle. That's not a good kick, really, from Jonathan Davis. It's gone backwards, if anything. Oh, they might get a bonus here, though. Welsh, Quinnell, is he in? Quinnell, the referee says no.
And that was a great stop from Twiggamala if he got back to stop that, because it was it looked like all the world for a try. It was a searching try. The ball bounced very kindly for Wales, and really, you'd have thought if they'd have played on there, they'd have scored the try.
Well, there's no sign of the action relenting in any sort of way at all, and I think that's obstruction that the referee's given there. He's certainly given a penalty to Western Samoa.
And that's the first penalty they've had, Western Samoa. They've had 4 against and 1 for, so I think Graham Lowe will be a little bit happier, but in the place they give it, he'll not be so smiling.
The encouraging thing about the performance so far, I think, Alex, is the fact that the Samoans, I know they're still down to 12 men. In fact, Thierry Partey appears on the far touchline as I speak. They're down to 12 men, but they haven't threatened the Welsh try line. They might do now with Solomona.
Well, I don't think they've had the ball to threaten it, really. I think the game has been stop, start. But having said that, the atmosphere in this game is absolutely electric. You can hear the crowd in the background. They're really excited. There's another basic mistake by the Western Samoans. Sam Panapa, believe it or not.
It must surely be a touch unsettling for the Samoans to play. I mean, it's a completely partisan crowd, isn't it? There's not many people here from Western Samoa, and when that anthem was sung before the kick-off, and the first 10 minutes or so, they've cheered every single tackle, every kick, every piece of the action so far,
yes,
the Welsh.
And to be quite honest, Wales have started off very, very well. They've took the ball to Western Samoa, they've attacked them. Scott Quinnell and Jonathan Davis, Devereux, Iestyn Harris. This kid is going to be some kind of a player.
Still a youngster, of course. And he got a try in the game against France. He's got one here tonight. It's still 6-0 in favour of Wales. Martin Hall back and recovered from the injury a few moments ago. Kevin Ellis trying to duck under a couple of tackles there.
I think we've also got outside here that we've just got the prison just at the back of the ground, and I hope none of the lads are on the roof. I hope they've not given time out for good behaviour to watch this game.
Well, there's no prisoners being taken on the field, I can tell you that without question. And Wales are back in possession with Skerritt. Good tackle from Via Twiggamala. That's Paul Moriarty. And the Wigan man wrapped him up superbly.
Tackle, wasn't it? That was one big hit by Twiggamala. And again, it was a little bit sloppy playing the ball. he's every right to strike for the ball. I think the ball was on the floor. I think it was a little bit sloppy, actually. Just look. He's entitled to strike for the ball, and I don't think there was anything wrong with that.
No, I think that's a bad decision. It's a penalty, whether or not to the Samoans, and they're up to the halfway line. We've had 16 electrifying minutes of this game.
And there's certainly no shortage of passion in this game, is there? When these lads are running in, they're certainly running in with every single ounce of power they've got.
At the moment, every single player on the field on both sides are giving it their all. And here comes Samoa now. Kick over the top from Panapa into space, really. Yestin Harris is the player who's going to collect it. And was that a knock-on? Well, he's lost possession, whether or not. And head and ball goes to Western Samoa, and that's a bad error.
Well, the kid holds his hands up. He knows it's a basic mistake. He'll not be too happy about that, young Yestin Harris. It's one of them things, it just happens. He took his eye off the ball. It was a bad bounce for him, but like I say, you've got to take them in this competition. He'll be a bit disappointed, the kid, but he scored the try already that's put Wales in front.
It's going to be Willie Swan to feed, and already the scrum has broken up. Davis has missed him. The Samoans are looking very, very dangerous now, a couple of metres away from that try line. It's Beard Twiggamala. He's wrapped up, but it took 3 Welshmen to prevent any further progress. And it's one-man rugby at the moment from the Samoans, and surely that's not going to pay off for them.
I don't think Graham Lowe will be too happy about that. 2 wasted play the balls, really. They might have moved this ball out wide, but Wales are moving up so quickly.
Panapa held, but pressure on Wales at the moment. Swan, dummies, looks for a route through, throws a long one out. It's not a good one. In fact, it's a dreadful pass. That was desperation stuff from the Samoans.
Well, I think Graham Lowe, John Schuster's looking in disgust out there. He's saying, what on earth are we doing? Both play the balls a yard from the line. Just listen to this crowd. It is absolutely electrifying. If you want to know who the home supporters are, just switch your volume up a little bit.
Just a word about Schuster, Alex, while they're packing down for the scrum. Were you surprised to see him on the wing tonight?
Yeah, it's a very, very strange decision. He's normally a centre, and he's normally a very, very good centre, and I would have thought we'd have been much better having Thierry Partey somewhere in that stand-off position, and you know, Sam Panna put it loose forward or something. You know, it's a strange team selection, but Graham Lowe picks the side, and he must be happy with it.
Well, at the moment, we're on course for an England-Wales semi-final, but we've got a long way to go in this game. 18 minutes gone.
I think there's 1 or 2 old scores to be settled out there and all, and 1 or 2 of these Welsh lads remembering 1 or 2 of the things what's gone on early, and they're not letting them forget about it.
We've got a Welsh player down injured at the moment. I think it's Richie Ayres, but play continues. The Welsh temporarily down to 12 men. Martin Hall back to Davis. He looks for him. He finds him. It's comfortable for the Samoan fullback, Paddy Tumavik. Plays it quickly. That's Willie Swan.
I think there's one good thing about the Western Samoans. You can't afford to let them run with the ball because they've got tremendous players who can score tries from any part of the field. You've got to get on top of them, you've got to put them down on the ground, and that doesn't look too good for Richie Ayres. He's been down there for a couple of minutes now, and if he goes off, that will be a big blow for Wales.
Well, we've got adequate substitutes, so they will hope, and Western Samoa are going to score a try. That's Via Matatui, and he literally walked through some pedestrian Welsh attempts at tackling. Via Matatui has put the Samoans right back in it, and that was poor defence.
Well, it's not only poor defence, but let's take a great try. This is a magnificent work try, a beautiful ball from Panapa to Via Twigam.
Matatui, the try scorer.
Sorry, just take my mistake there. It was a beautiful inside ball. He takes the ball, he bursts onto it. Just have a look what he does to Yestin Harris. Off the left foot, round you go, round the post. That's a great try, and that's put Western Samoa right back in the game.
It's going to be a formality, this, for John Schuster.
Just watch the ball inside here. It's a beautiful ball. Panapa shows the ball. Burst right on the ball, through the gap, past Scott Quinnell. And Martin Hall, this fella's got plenty pace, plenty size. What about that for a little jink? You'd have thought that was Jonathan Davis with the ball and not the number 10. He's got the finger up. We are back.
And how? He enjoyed that one. A huge grin on his face, and why not? He knows he's put his team back level, because this will be a formality for John Schuster. It's right in front. Game on, 6 apiece at the Vetch.
Well, we did say that you allow these fellas to run with the ball. You've got to put them on the floor, and the Welsh concentration wasn't at its best then.
They had a player out, Richie Ayres, in the build-up to the try.
But just let's have a look at the ball off this to Matatier. Just look how he runs onto this ball, Matatier. There's no problem, he saw the gap. This is the important part. Look at the jink. Leaves Justin Harris for dead. That is a great try for a big man.
And as we just saw, Richie Ayres was receiving treatment.
Have a look at the muscles on this fella. You think he's been on spinach? What a big fella he is.
I bet he could eat a few tins. Even Popeye didn't look like that. It's 6 apiece. Solomon in possession for Western Samoa. And that was Diego Twigamala who offloaded the ball to the hooker, Willie Porching, and that's a good run. And the Welsh all of a sudden look a touch unsettled.
It's amazing what a try does for a side. It was looking a little bit down and out now. Everybody wants the ball and everybody wants to run with it.
And Justin Harris, well, the referee has spotted an infringement. I think it may well have been a forward pass, but it's going to be a scrum down on the halfway line or thereabouts.
I think everybody in rugby league said that this was the table of death. Well, I think this performance tonight, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to be very, very tired after this game. There is a tremendous amount of commitment put into this game.
Davis with the kick, and the chase is on. Sullivan could score. He's going to turn it forward. Sullivan has scored for Wales. And what a comeback from the Welsh as he salutes the crowd. And what a kick from Jonathan Davis. The Welsh are back in the lead.
Well, that's the way to answer people. What you can do, we can do. But let's have a look at Jonathan Davis. I did say before the game, he had to perform, not only kicking goals, he had to perform, he had the ball in his hands. He reads the game to perfection. Anthony Sullivan, he absolutely flies out of the blocks. He's down there, he's got a chance down here now, Anthony Sullivan. A little bit of football skills, and Wales have done it again. What a great try.
What pace.
Well, have a look at the kick from Jonathan Davis. He saw that the fullback was up in the line, and that is very, very bad playing from the Western Samoa. But have a look at Anthony Sullivan. Spring-heeled, electrified. This fella is absolutely flying. He kicks the ball over, and that is a great try for Wales.
And it restores the Welsh lead at 10 points to 6. Now Davis, can he make up for the kick he fluffed earlier? It's without doubt kickable. That's there, it's a two-pointer! It's 12-6 to Wales.
Yes, and I think the flags are out again. The crowd's back on the feet. They went a little bit quiet when Western Samoa scored that try. But one good thing about this game tonight, when Wales, look at this kick. It's absolutely perfect. Anthony Sullivan keeps his eye on the ball. Anybody could have made a mess of this. Not Mr. Sullivan. Great try.
And it was Brian Lamatabe who tried to get close to him. And
look
as
at
we
the
see
kick.
here, he got nowhere near him.
It looks like going down the M25 with no traffic on it. What a great kick and a great try. And the lads are at it again. The male voice choir are in full fling here tonight. And for anybody who's not here, you are absolutely missing a treat on live television.
Well, they don't come much better than this. This, without question, I think we can say, without any fear of contradiction, has been the best game so far produced in this 1995 World Cup. There was a clip of Sullivan. He got a hat-trick against France. He's off up and running again tonight with a try for Wales. 12-6, Wales in possession. Martin Hall spins it out wide.
And that just shows you a little bit there. Twigamala played for the same team as Kelvin Skerritts. There was no love lost there, was there? They're playing for keeps, these guys.
And that's a beautiful touch finder again, which will force the Western Samoans deep into their own half of the field. Davis is beginning to enjoy himself.
Well, there's one good thing about Davis: when he gets everything right and he gets his goal kicking right, he's also on song running with the ball. This fella is a world-class player, and if he is going back to rugby union, he'll be sadly missed in rugby league.
Well, the Welsh crowd are on song as well.
It just shows you the difference in the weight there. There's about 10 pounds difference with the Western Samoan. Will that tell in the end?
We'll see. Find out right here on live TV. There goes Sam Panapa. Richie Ayres now fit again after that treatment earlier. But they're making good progress at the moment here, the Western Samoans, and was that a penalty?
Well, I think what you'll find here, I think he played for that. I think it was a penalty, but I think he did play a little bit for that. He saw the referee was in the wrong position. He knew that there was nobody marking him. And it looks as though he took a little bit of dive as well. But he's got away with it.
And it means that Wales will have some defending to do. No, they won't, because Schuster's going to kick a goal.
Well, there must be a massive difference here. Jonathan Davis, who I think can kick a ball, he's had a goal kick from the same position and kick for touch. John Schuster must be very, very confident if he kicks this goal.
Well, he's calling for the sand. That's exactly what he's going to try to do. But he is a good goal kicker.
Did he play for this?
Nobody laid a finger on him. He went down as if he'd been shot by a sniper.
Well, it did look as though to me that Martin Hall didn't. You've got to get away from him, I agree on that, but he plays the ball to himself, and I think when you've got a man marking you in front, which Wales had, I can't see any need for the penalty.
Well, Russell Smith decided to give it. This is going to be a massive kick from Schuster if it goes over. In fairness, it's right in front of the post, but as you can see, it's just about a couple of metres inside the Welsh half of the field. He's getting the jeers and the whistles, Schuster. It's a long, long way out. He's kicked it.
Well, what a magnificent kick from John Schuster. Everybody on the ground was booing, whistling, but he didn't bother him, and there's some very, very happy Western Samoans. That was a great kick, a fully 50 metres, and he put it in the back row of the stands. Watch this. Bang! Over you go. It didn't look as though it was going, but there's plenty height and plenty distance on that. That is one great kick.
4 points the difference as Davis restarts the action here at the Vetch Field in Wales. Almost a touch of a bit of a misunderstanding there with the Western Samoans, but look at the tackling again from the Welsh. Everybody wants to get in on the act tonight in Wales.
Well, I think that tackle there, he must have shook every bone in his body from John Devereux. That was one big, big hit.
Solomona. Skerritt came in third man. That's a 4. Back it out, came out from Stan Panipert. Tira Party back on, of course. He spent some time in the sin bin in the early part of the game. That's not a good kick. Sullivan swallowed his up. Got 4 World Cup tries already. That's a wonderful tackle, but Sullivan's up and plays it quickly. Penalty to Wales. Can't argue with it.
No, and it's into today, and that was by Igor Twigamala. That was a penalty. He wouldn't allow Anthony Sullivan get up and play the ball. He doesn't look too happy about it, the big man, does he? And if he says, oh dear, I don't think he's too happy about that, Twigamala. He's not a man to mince his word, but have a look at this. You think this was a penalty? Well, he did knock Anthony Sullivan on the floor, and I think for once, Mr. Smith was right.
That's interference at the play of the ball, there is no question about it. He wanted to get up and play it quickly. I don't think it was Twigamala, I think it was the other Samoan,
well,
Tony Tutapupa.
I think Twigamala had an hand in there. There was 2 of them anyway, and I don't think Wales will be too bothered. They've got the penalty. And this fella is certainly one up for this game.
Skerritt. Little chip kick for the line, and that was almost a good one as well.
Well, I think what you can say is if that ball had been weighted a little bit less and a little bit better, that was another try, because Moriarty, all he had to do was run and put his hand on the ball. That was a great little chip.
12-8 to Wales, the score. 10 minutes to go to half-time.
They say that time flies when you're having a good time, and this is one great game. There's tremendous atmosphere, there's some good rugby, and there's some powerful tackling.
The long touch finder comes in from Tony Tuamavik, and that's a beauty as well. Head and ball to the Welsh, but that drives them back 10 metres from their own line.
Yeah, that must give them that's a great kick from Tuivasa. That's a tremendous kick. It must say them, and the forwards look at that and say, thank you very much. That's changes, what, 40, 50 metres? That's a magnificent kick just inside the touch flag. There's Clive Griffiths looking very, very happy. I think Clive, when he was 6'6", would be worrying a little bit, but he looks a bit happier now.
And Wales in possession. That's Richie Ayres. But he's wrapped up very, very quickly and efficiently by the Western Samoan pack. He couldn't make much progress.
I think the Welsh forwards are doing well, aren't they, when they're taking the ball forward? You know, we've got Quinnell and Runian Moriarty, and they're making gaps, and that looked a bit high, and that is Twigger again, and will he get away with that? And again.
Martin Hall takes the tackle. Twigger it was, who's certainly seen a lot of the action.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's caught Martin Hall with that, and Martin Hall knows he's been in a tackle. Twigger has picked the ball up, and really that should have been a penalty, surely, to Wales. Martin Hall doesn't know what day it is.
And here come the Samoans as well with Solomona, Moriarty over the top, Kelvin Skerrett I think round the bottom, but danger here for Wales. A 4, 2 metres out, Swan looks for support, back inside, and still there's danger here for the Welsh. Willie poaching, smothered just in time. It was Jonathan Davies. That's a terrible pass, and that is not international rugby.
No, that was very, very bad play, and it seems Western Samoa, every time they get to the line, they don't know what to do. They're playing one-man football, and there's some very cheap shots going on here. I'd love to see what happened with Martin Hall. If we could see that later on. That was one of the hardest tackles I've seen for a long time. He didn't know what day he couldn't even play the ball, he couldn't even stand up, and that tackle was from his teammate, Twigger.
That gives you an indication of the type of game we've got here at the Vetchfield tonight, but Wales are still in the lead by 12 points to 8. Across it comes, and there's Quinnell. I think he's been having a bit of a breather, but he's in the action now.
And he's also been having a bit of a good game as well, the big fella. He's not had too many football matches this year, you know, he's been injured.
Davies! Jonathan Davies makes it to the edge of the 20-metre line. And there was a air of anticipation that went round the Vetchfield. There goes Richie Ayres. Got past the first tackle, and they're edging ever closer to that Samoan try line.
You can tell how much they like Jonathan Davies here. They even cheered him when he tossed up, so you can tell how much respect they've got for him down here.
Harris turns it inside, Quinnell, what a tackle! That was Viamatatui on his opposite number, Scott Quinnell. The irresistible force coming up against the immovable object.
People say, Jack, what's it like playing rugby league? When you see tackles like that.
The Welsh wanted obstruction, the referee will have none of it.
No, there was nothing wrong. Kevin Ellis said that kick was a little bit too hard. I think Kevin went for the penalty, but obviously Russell Smith had realised this. You're not allowed to move out of the road. He did push him a little bit, but I think he was going down anyway.
Well, if you blink in this game, you're sure to miss something.
Well, I heard a little bit of a joke about Western Samoa the other night. Graham Lowe took him to the opening ceremony, the first one they've been to, and he said, what are you going to do after attending this one? He said, well, they've attended the ceremony, I'm going to give them a couple of days off. So that's the atmosphere in the Western Samoan side, so you can see it's very happy and very cordial there.
And Graham Lowe, I think he said that it will put 10 years on his life coaching the Western Samoans. They're so laid back, he said it's been a real treat. But they're not ahead in this game. Wales are 12-8. Solomon in possession for the Samoans. And the tackling is still tight and it's still tough out there, believe me. Penalty.
And a penalty to Wales, and that's obviously not playing the ball. That is exactly right. He's got up and he's giving...
Oh, this is 2 points!
Well, that's a very, very bad... We said about discipline at the start of the game. We said the side who kept the discipline, and that is terrible discipline. You don't have any of that, lads. I'm sorry about it now. The little man in the black and white, whether you like it or not, he's in charge. Have a look at it here. We've got... It's just a little bit of... He's got the ball in his hands. There's no doubt about it. Solomon is...
He didn't play it properly. He made no contact with the boot when he tried to play it.
Well, what he said is he's rolled the ball back. Solomon has rolled, and as well as rolling the ball back, he's given him 10 yards for mouthing. So I don't think Mr. Smith will be on the Christmas card list for the Western Samoans.
And I don't think he'll be going there for his holidays either.
No, if I was him, I'd keep as far away from these fellas as I could possibly get. But like you said, this is a tremendous game of rugby league, and you're seeing it live on Sky, on live television. This is one of the games where he doesn't play the ball, he gets up, he rolls it. You must put the foot on the ball and roll it back.
He's going to take his time. He's not been in good form, really, so far, Jonathan Davies, with the boot tonight. He's kicked 2. But this surely will go between the sticks. Not a problem.
And I think that is what Wales needed. They just needed steadying that little bit, because Western Samoa are making one or two basic mistakes. Graham Lowe, when he gets them in at half-time, he'll not be too pleased with the discipline. Silly penalties when they've got the ball.
Joe Gavanna is on, is off for the Samoans. Now, is that a tactical substitution by Graham Lowe? It certainly wouldn't surprise me if anybody had picked up a knock.
Well, there's certainly going to be one or two sore men out there when they get up in the morning. There's some tremendous tackling going on. There's some great running.
What a challenge on Moriarty!
And that was by Twiggamala. It wasn't again. It was Termati. He's had it again, actually. Matatia went in there. That was one big tackle.
And I can tell you that Paul Moriarty hasn't moved a muscle since that challenge came in. It was via Matatui. That was a big rugby league hit.
And he hit him with a shoulder. There was nothing dirty about it. It was a big tackle. Look at Moriarty. What's in them eyes?
Richie Ayres ducked another dodgy one, which came in again from Twiggamala.
Yeah, there's a few cheap shots going in, and honestly, I think Graham Lowe will not be too happy about that, because they'll not win the match doing things like that. He'll not be too happy about it. He's happy if they're playing football. There's some cheap shots coming in, and Graham Lowe giving silly penalty away. That's not good enough.
And that was a bad touch finder, which came in from Martin Hall. It went out on the full, and the Samoans are in full flight just outside and now inside that Welsh 20-metre line. That's the substitute, Joe Gavanna. Swan, Panapa, good tackling from the Welsh, and what a cheer. One standoff on the other.
I think
that
when
was
Davis. When they get in this position, I think they're lacking an idea in the Western Samoans. It's one-man football, and really they've got to move this ball out wide.
Swan chips for the line, and there's too much weight on the kick through, and Wales will get possession. I think the Samoans have been affected by the occasion and the passion of the Welsh crowd. Well, they look a bit nervous, and they need to get some composure and settle.
Well, this crowd is definitely worth 6-point starts. I've never known a one-sided crowd in my life, but they are getting behind the team. You can only admire them for that. They want one team to win here, and that team is Wales.
And there's 6 points the difference at the moment, 14-8 to Wales, Sullivan.
And you've got to be quite happy about this. Wales are the better side. They're doing things right, they're controlling, they've got away from the niggling now, and they're letting Western Samoa get the cheap shots in. And there is one or two cheap shots being fired in here.
Martin Hall, Ellis, there's the wide one picking out Davis. Davis draws the dummy. Oh, great tackle. And that time it was Panapa on Davis. So great competition at standoff, and Wales still looking dangerous. Moriarty, the delivery was good. Can Wales find room on that far side? They've dropped the ball.
I think Moriarty fancied himself as a bit of a soccer player. Again, he took a knock after he tried to dribble the ball over. He's took two big hits in the last few minutes, and he'll really want this half-time to come. Look at him, he looks like Stanley Matthews trying to get over there. And was that after the ball?
It could well have been, because the ball was certainly loose. And the referee and the touch judge saw it differently. And a penalty to the Samoans. A minute plus stoppage time to the half-time hooter. And of course, all the action right here for you on the remainder of the game on live TV. So do please stay with us.
Well, there's some very, very disappointing men out there at the moment. Western Samoa will not be too happy when they go in at half-time, really, with the result. But Wales, take nothing away from Wales. They've played magnificent football. They've really competed in this.
And Wales must now control the line and prevent the Samoans from scoring a try in these crucial moments leading up to half-time. And they were lucky there again, Samoa. That's Sirapati, and he hasn't been nailed. Davis is there, so too is Ellis. Hadley, the third Welshman, and still he won't go on the floor. Surely the referee has got a shout held there. He's given a penalty now, or has he?
Well, what he's saying is you've got to let him play the ball. I mean, Jonathan Davis is not happy about it, but surely he said, I can't hear you. Now, if he can't hear him from where the referee is, he's rather not shouting, or this crowd is very passionate. But Mr. Smith was right near that, and Jonathan Davis is saying, I can't hear you.
Well, he's given Western Samoa a penalty.
and a penalty just leading up to half-time, which could be, you know, a very, very important kick, because they've got a man here who's kicking from anywhere on the ground. He's a great kicker, this fella Schuster, and if he kicks this, Western Samoa are back in the game.
Well, it will just about put them into double figures, the Samoans, if Schuster can kick it. And again, you have to say it's well within his capabilities. It's certainly within his range. He's kicked an absolute cracker previously, of course, from right on the halfway line. This will be his third if he kicks it. It's 2 points for Samoa, and there's 4 points in the game. It's his third goal of the evening.
And that's a very, very important kick. Right bang on half-time, and Graham Lowe, when he goes in now, will say, look, let's control the game. We're back in this game. It can go anyway. Let's think about it. It's a great kick from Schuster. He's a lovely striker of the ball, dissects the middle of the post, and that is a very important 2 points for Western Samoa.
And by my watch, we've had 2 minutes of stoppage time. That's the end of the action in the opening 40 minutes, and what fantastic action it's been. Wales ahead, thanks to tries from Harris and Sullivan. Via Matatui responding for the Western Samoans. At half-time here at the Vetch Field, Wales are ahead by 14 points to 10. Don't miss the second half after this break. Guess, incidentally, Steve Hendrick and John Gallagher. I think, Alex, you know that John Gallagher's been known by a different name.
Yeah, I think what we've got now, it's Big Chief John Gallagher, I believe, because I believe with John Schuster took him back to his village and they've made John a chief. Well, I always knew he was going to go to high places, but I never thought he'd be a chief.
Well, there's a few Chiefs and a lot of Indians out on the pitch here at the Vetch Field. 14-10 in favour of Wales. The action just underway in the second half.
It'll be very, very interesting what the team talk was at half-time. What does Clive Griffiths said to this very, very passionate Welsh crowd? Don't let them down, lads, you're doing a magnificent job. What's Graham Lowe going to say to the Western Samoans? Cut out the rough stuff and carry on with the football.
That's the Estin Harris, who's got the football in his arms at the moment. Davis trying to find a yard of space. Jinx back inside, didn't make a lot of progress, and that's got to be a penalty.
And again, that's a silly tackle from Thierry Partey. He caught Jonathan Davis with a knee. He's just saying it wasn't me, referee, but he'd no need. That was a flop, and that was a knee also. I think he's a lucky lad. He's had one yellow card. His next one could be a red one.
Well, that's just complete indiscipline, that, because there's no need for Partey to come in as a second man. Davis is tackled. Why is he doing that?
Well, that's bad discipline, and again we've just seen John Schuster kick a goal from this distance. Will Jonathan Davis punish the Western Samoans and do likewise?
He's certainly going to try. In fact, it's practically from exactly the same position.
Well, what's Graham Lowe? I mean, if he's got a lot of earth and he'll be turning it out ways going on. Them are very, very silly penalties. He's a very calm man, Graham Lowe. He's a great lad, but he'll not be happy with them kind of penalties. That is bad rugby league.
And it could well be punished. It's a long way out. It's practically exactly the same spot from where Schuster kicked it, so can Davis match it? There'll be a massive roar if this one goes over, and it could get the second half off to a cracking start. Here it comes. It's there. No, it isn't. It's an inch wide.
And I think that would have been a very, very important kick for Jonathan Davis. Thierry Partey breathes a sigh of relief. He'll not be too happy about that. He's having a word with Russell Smith, and that also could be dangerous. Thierry, leave it be.
But he's got to concentrate on his football, Thierry Partey. He must have come mighty close there to a red card. In the sin bin in the early part of the first half. Nearly off the field altogether in the early part of the second. Estin Harris in possession for Wales. And Jonathan Davis, I think we have to say, has not been in good form with the boot tonight for Wales.
Well, I think he's missed, what, four kickable kicks? Well, Jonathan Davis, 9 out of 10 would have kicked.
But Wales still controlling possession fairly comfortably. That's Quinnell. Back inside to Skerrett. Skerrett's trying to get into his stride, and if he does, there'll be problems for Samoa. Davis, the bomb goes up, and that's a real tester and a teaser for the fullback. And he's dropped it. Oh, luckily, the cover was there for Samoa. Paddy Tuimave dropped the bomb, and the tackling is good.
And that's good pressure from Wales also.
Dia Twigamala is knocked down by David Young and Kelvin Skerrett. Well, that isn't quite as good from Wales. It's a loose forward, Tony Tuimave, who made a very good break.
That's got to be a penalty. That cannot go the right way. That has got to be a penalty. There was a man marking in front of him. He didn't try to play the ball. You must play the ball back. Surely there was a man marking him, stood in front of him for Wales. If I'm mistaken here, Jonathan Davis, he didn't even give him time to get back.
Well, it was a penalty to the Samoans and taking it quickly. First attack of any note in the second half from Samoa. There's Solomona, and Quinnell wraps him up.
There's one good thing about this, you must never take that to penalty.
Oh, he's offloaded. Well, surely, well, obviously the tackle wasn't completed.
Well, there's some very, very strange decisions going on in this game. He's just given a penalty to Jonathan Davis for not releasing the man, and now he gives one who said he wasn't tackled. Very, very strange indeed.
And danger here now for Wales. There goes Swan. He looks for support. He's got it from Panapa. And again, oh, we've got an off-the-ball incident just behind where the ball is actually being played. You can see the melee of players right underneath the post. And it's Tira Party again, and he's fired up for this one tonight.
I think Tira Party's going to be very, very lucky man here. He's certainly stoked up for this. It's unlikely, well, it's unusual for Tira Party to get involved, but he goes in and has a go at Moriarty again. There's two of them in there again.
It's Via Matatui and Moriarty.
And Tira Party comes in to help out. Again, I think Mr. Smith's going to have to get control of this. We're going to have big, big trouble.
Well, it's all very, very unnecessary because it really was. It wasn't a major incident in the game. I think they just clashed. There's Moriarty.
Well, I think he was just the bloke who was on the end of Vayamatia's hanger, really. He just fired through and lamped him. He'd be very, very lucky man to stay on the field here. He's been very, very patient. Come here. This is your last time.
I think Russell Smith might do something about this.
Well, I don't think he's going to do anything, do you? I can tell with the team talk, he'll just say, now listen, this is your last chance. Now cut it out or you are walking. Just let's have a look what Matatu does here. Just watch where Moriarty is. This is where the incident is. He goes for him, hits him with a shoulder, and he's a very, very lucky lad indeed.
Well, that's exactly what the referee did say to the player, to cut it out, get on with the football. It's a penalty to Wales, and he was lucky to stay on.
Well, when you've been a half-back and being close to referees, you do realise what kind of language they're going to come up with, and that's what I thought he was going to do.
Not that you were ever spoken to by a referee.
No.
Listen to the roar. And that time, Martin Hall missed out his Wigan colleague, Skerrett, and give it to his other colleague,
that's right.
Quinnell.
And if you want to know how brave rugby league players are, just watch some of these fellas when they take the ball in. There's some ferocious tackling going on out there.
Richie Ayres, another good field position has been worked by the Welsh here. Ellis slings out a real cracker. Iestyn Harris goes forward, he's dropped the ball, it's gone back, or has it? Play on, I think, is the decision of Russell Smith. It is. Still 14-10, the score in favour of Wales. Second half, we've had 6.5 minutes. Rapati again doing the tackling for the Samoans.
And I think we'll see a bump from Jonathan Davis here. He's in the right place for it.
It's another tester for the fullback, Paddy Tuimave, and he's got it. Oh, he was lucky. He allowed the ball to bounce. It went in his favour, and he really played with the percentages there.
No wonder he's got a disturbed look on his face. He's been a very, very lucky man. That was a great ball from Jonathan Davis. It's just what Wales wanted, puts Western Samoa under a lot of pressure. I still believe that Western Samoa need another score just to make this game a little bit more interesting, and also at the same time Wales also need another score.
Well, here come Western Samoa. Solomona seen a lot of the ball, and he's offloaded a beauty there. I don't know, he got that one out to the backside of the tackle, really. That's poaching the hooker, and he's nailed up, and Wales have come up with the ball. That's great tackling from the Welsh.
And again, that's a silly penalty for... that is a silly penalty, just holding down. There's no need for that whatsoever. Graham Lowe will absolutely go in spur on the bench. That is absolutely diabolical play. Look at that again. Won't let him play the ball, pull him down to ground. And Wales are in attacking position.
Skerrett. That was Joe Vagana who he ran into, literally there, Kelvin Skerrett. Bateman.
I think if Wales were to score another try now, I think you'd hear the cheer in Glasgow.
We might hear it, the Estin Harris, and he's looked dangerous every time he's linked up from that full-back position.
Yeah, he's a classic kid, this fella. He's got potential to be one of the real superstars of rugby league.
Richie Ayres looking for a gap.
All right, don't spoil it, please. Let him off. Well done.
And here come Wales. Davis across to Ellis. Ellis misses out one, and Moriarty slipped, and that was a pity.
And I think we might see a little drop goal from Jonathan Davis here. He's in a handy position for it.
He's lining it up. It's a one-pointer. Well, you read it like a book, and that was a very, very important drop goal from Davis.
It would have made it a lot more interesting if Jonathan had kicked that goal, but just looking at Davis, he read the play, he realises that every point is vital. He positions himself, magnificent position in here, and this fella, when he's on form, he can do anything.
Well, he made it look pretty easy, but I can assure you they're not as easy as he made it look. That could be crucial. 15-10 now, and another substitution made by the Samoans. Perellini on, Solomoa off.
And what a name to come on, Perellini. They call him the Terminator.
Well, we'll have to see. And you heard the shout there of Wales in the background. That's after a drop goal. They'll really lift the lid off the Vetch if they can manage to get over the whitewash. There's somebody who's done it 4 times in this World Cup. That's Anthony Sullivan.
Yes, and I think 1 or 2 of these Welsh lads, they're really playing well. They've risen to the occasion. They're answering the crowd's pleas for everything what they've asked for them. They're giving them.
Martin Hall looking for space. That's a good little, very, very valuable 10 yards. And there goes Bateman as well.
One more. One more.
Davis.
Come on, Chase.
I think that's the right idea with Jonathan Davis, kicking the ball dead. It's keeping Western Samoa down there, and the longer that Wales are in front, the more confident they become. I think another score is crucial.
Neil Cowie is waiting to come on. David Young will be the man to go off for Wales, and that could well be a good decision. I think that could well be a tactical one.
Well, I think it could be a great tactical decision, actually, because not only will Neil Cowie want to get him very early, his wife presented him with a little girl, so we wish him all the best for that as well, and hope things go right on and off the field.
Well, he'll be in the action shortly. At the moment, there's no stoppage in play. There's a try scorer with another magnificent burst from deep. He came through practically unnoticed there.
You must not allow these fellas to run with the ball, because the big, strong men, you've got to close them down very, very quickly.
Via Matatui it was who came late on the burst. I think he could well be having treatment now on the far side of the field. Little chip kick comes in, the 2 fullbacks, and the fullback for Western Samoa now is out of position. Pani Tuimabe came up into the line. The little chip kick didn't come off. Great play from Estin Harris.
Yes, and this kid already, he's only 19 years of age. He's got to be a big contender for the man of the match. He's having a magnificent game of rugby league. He's playing way beyond his years.
And here comes the Welsh male voice choir again. Schuster's carrying an injury. Martin Hall thought about the delivery to Skerrett, went alone instead.
And I think we might see drive for position. Davis is in that position again. Any word about where drop goals?
Davis slips the ball to Richie Ayres. Magnificent tackle by his opposite number though, Tony Tuimabe. Penalty, I think, is the decision. No, it's a scrum.
Well, I think what he's doing, what he's actually give here is a forward pass. I cannot believe he's given a forward pass. Surely it must be the handover.
Well, he's given a scrum and the head and ball to Western Samoa, and that substitution, well, they've changed it. It's going to be Kelvin Skerrett to go off.
Well, I think that is a good move, actually, because Kelvin looked as though he was struggling a little bit, and one of the Western Samoans were getting a little bit, well, to say peeved, it wouldn't be the right word, would it?
Well, knowing Neil Cowie, He'll be eager and anxious to get quickly into the action, and he's going to get into it straight away. He's in at prop. What an introduction. There's two, and he offloads. That was Tira Party, and that's Willie Swan. He can't find anywhere to go. Desimere is on via Matatui, who was injured a few moments ago. That's the try scorer. That's gone off. Wales have got the possession with Cowie.
Well, I think that again, that decision has not been pleasing the Welsh crowd. That decision has come from the touch judge, obviously saying what he said here. Martin Hall raked the ball out. I think the little bit I'd done to again Wales, it was a decision from the touch judge and nothing to do with the referee.
And it's put Wales under pressure. A big test now for the Welsh. 13.5 minutes gone in the second half. Wales ahead, 15 points to 10. Somebody nearly lost the shorts. Apollo Perolini it was. There's Swan, spins it out wide. It's the other substitutes in possession, Joe Vagana. He literally threw the ball away, and there's the man to accept it. Iestyn Harris has made another good 20 metres there for Wales. That's important, to get the ball away from the danger area quickly.
This little man's had a magnificent game, Iestyn Harris. He's only 19 years of age. He's a great competitor, and he's having a great game. And that was one big hit again. Moriarty, he knocked the ball out of his grasp and just managed to grab it again.
He's coming for the treatment tonight, Paul Moriarty.
Well, I think there's a few blokes out there at the treatment. One good thing about, I will say, there is no cowards on there.
Davis will kick for position. It sat up nicely for Paddy Tamave, and he's off straight away, but look at the tackling there. Richie Ayres is there. The initial tackle came in from Devereux. The fullback is not playing well for Western Samoa.
No, I think Jonathan Davis has found a weakness, and I think if you give him the eyeball and Thierry Party again, turn the ball back here, it looks like a knock-on, but that to me is a strange decision again. I cannot believe what decision he's given here. Thierry Party passed the ball back, and again, he's given a knock-on. Well, the substitution, Roland Phillips, and that is a very, very popular substitution, because one good thing about Roland Phillips, he only knows one way to go, and that is forward.
Well, Moriarty is the man who has gone off for Wales, and he really has been in the wars, I think, tonight at the Vetch, but he's played his part in what's proving to be a very accomplished Welsh performance.
Yes, it's been a great performance, hasn't it, really? Because
there's Phillips.
They're good going forward, Wales, and they're angling the ball a bit better. There's a lad who's give his all for Wales.
More to come. Chuli from the Welsh. Quinnell. Hall again goes to dummy half. He's got support from Richie Ayres, who started the second half pretty well. He's been involved in the game a lot more than he was in the opening 40, Richie Ayres.
Yes, and another score here for Wales would really put the icing on the cake.
Harris, danger here for the Samoans. Good delivery. Was that a high tackle? It was Desimere. And it's all happening again down in Swansea. They're all piling in. Really, John Schuster says it was a chest tackle.
And I think when we have a look at the replay, I think we'll find out that was a little bit high, and that could be a very, very important penalty, if it is a penalty. Does he go high? Does he take him round the neck? You've got to keep the tackles down. Desimere was, oh dearie me, I don't know about round the neck, he nearly took his head off. That was very, very high, and he's very, very lucky if he stays on the field. That is a very, very bad tackle.
It's Desimere, the substitute, who's only been on the field a few minutes.
Well, I think he'll be walking. I think he's going to give him 10 minutes, and I think that's what he has done. I think that tackle deserves a red card. That is a very, very high tackle indeed, and it could be also a very costly one.
It's a penalty to Wales, and it could nose them in front and give them that valuable breathing space they're looking for. 15-10 at the moment, and Davis with a magnificent opportunity now to add another 2 points.
Well, I think he'll definitely feel this. Have a look at this. Somebody said it wasn't high. John Schuster? Well, I think he must be watching a different picture than what I've been watching. Also, it could be a very important penalty for Wales, because If he kicks this Jonathan Davis, he gives him 7 points, a breathing space of 1. Look at Graham Lowe. He'll not be happy saying, lads, this game's about discipline and we're throwing it away.
Well, he looks pretty relaxed, doesn't he? But inside, I'm sure he's very, very disappointed. And after all the noise we've had, we've got some quiet while Davis can concentrate all his efforts on trying to get another 2 points for his country. And it's there! It's a beauty this time! No mistake from Davis!
We did say before this game that Jonathan Davis would play a big, big part in this. Is that the icing on the cake? Is that what Wales wanted? Will it take them forward to the semi-final? Strikes it well, right behind the Welsh supporters, and don't they appreciate that? That was one great goal.
Well, I said earlier that Jonathan Davis hadn't been in good form with the boot, but he's kicked 4 now. He's also added a drop goal. That's 9 points he's got, and Wales are in front by 17 points to 10. And here they are again with Phillips. And there goes Phillips and a barnstorming run. Roland Phillips. How about that for a superb defence clearing run from Phillips? And the tempo is picked up again by the Welsh and the supporters.
And not only a great run, but what about the support from the crowd? They're really getting behind these lads, and Wales are really giving the Welsh crowd everything to cheer about. It is a magnificent game of rugby league.
We're approaching the halfway state in the second half. It's lived up to its reputation, this one. And here comes Ellis again for Wales.
I think we'll see some different tactics from Wales now, running with the ball, just playing the 6 and keeping Western Samoa down in their own territory. I think Jonathan Davis with a kick. Wouldn't be surprised if we have another eye ball here.
Don't forget the Samoans down to 12 men. Desi Mayer in the sin bin. That's another tester. And the fullback equal to it on that occasion. He took that magnificently. He was pretty casual about it as well. Paddy Tumave, no nerves about this lad.
Well, that was a great take from Tumave because he's been under a little bit of pressure from them kicks, and he made that look very, very easy indeed.
Well, don't write off the Samoans. They trail, but one trying a goal can change it all back round again. 17-10 in favour of the Welsh. Carey took a bang on the ankle. Panapa turns the ball inside, and they're really coming onto the ball at full tilt now, the Samoans. That's Biega Twigamala.
And he's been a little bit quiet, hasn't he, Twigamala? I don't think he's had too many running chances, but the Welsh have tackled very, very well. They've kept him under control, and really I think they'll be very happy about it.
That was Panapa's kick. Hadley is there. Surely he's not going to let it bounce. Well, did he turn it behind? I think that's a dropout.
I'll tell you what, that was a very, very cool position. That was very, very bad play from Hadley if he allowed that to happen. Surely that ball was going out. He wouldn't take a chance. It's too important. He looks a little bit amused about that, doesn't he? Well, I thought that ball actually was going out.
I think Adrian Hadley, when Aston Harris had a few words about that, because it was all unnecessary, really. They're going to give the possession right back to the Samoans. It's a magnificent drop kick, I have to say, from Davis, but it's with the substitute, Joe Vagana.
I think when 1 or 2 of the lads get in the bath tonight, they'll certainly have a little bit of a soak, won't they? There's some bruises out there, there's some great football being played, and there's some ferocious tackling.
And one of them will be celebrating a World Cup semi-final appearance against England, a game you can see absolutely live right here on live TV. But the Samoans at the moment trying to get themselves back into this game, and the Welsh have got some defending to do here. The movement's good. Panapa, lovely ball from Panapa. Oh man, are they in? Is it down? What has the referee given? On his back, he looks at the touch judge and the in-goal touch judge. That was a let-off for Wales.
Well, I think not only was it a let-off, but wow, you'd have to think about this. He's having a word with the referee. He's saying, surely my momentum took me over here. Again, did he go over on his back? Did he put the ball down? Was he grounded? This is a very, very close decision. Looked like a try. What happened? His momentum took him over. He put the ball down. And obviously the referee said, no try.
It looked a try to me. That was a real let-off for the Welsh. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I think there'll be some arguing about that in the pubs tonight. I don't think there'll be much arguing in the Welsh pubs, but there'll certainly be some arguing elsewhere. That looked a try all the world to me.
A real let-off there for Wales. Quinnell. Lovely ball to Martin Hall. Martin Hall, what a run. Quinnell.
This fella's had a big game for me, Quinnell. He's not played for a long time, but he has played some great football.
Skerritt, was that high? It was, penalty Wales.
Twigger again it was. I don't think this fella really has got into the spirit of this game. And look who's having a word with him, Kelvin Skerritt. He looks a little bit mean, doesn't he? He's tackled Skerritt twice, he's nearly killed him the first time, and second he tried to finish it off. It's just a tackle, it's all in the game. They play this game for keeps.
It's a Welsh penalty.
Well, now this should be very, very interesting. What does Jonathan Davies do here? Does he take a chance and kick a goal and put him 9 points in front? What would you do here?
Well, I would kick at goal, but he's not going to do. So it's a good job I'm not playing.
Obviously, Jack, you've never played this game.
Pressure again for Western Samoa. Sullivan, Martin Hall. The big men are up. There's Skerritt again. There's Twigger. He's after him.
I think Wales might just settle, you know, check this ball to the middle of the sticks and just pop.
Davies! Fabulous tackle. Martin Hall. Ellis. Back inside. Harris.
Now is the right time. If there's points on the board, now is the right time. They're in prime position, and that is very, very bad play from Justin Harris. Everybody on the ground knew that there was a drop goal on, and he tries to score on his own.
Panapa plays it quickly. That's a penalty, offside against the Welsh.
Well, I don't think Clive Griffiths will be too happy about that. The kid's not made many mistakes. I think he was trying to be a little bit too clever there. Everybody was lining up for the drop goal.
"26 minutes gone in the second half. 17-10, the Wales lead. And another substitute, that's Mark Ilya.
Well, Mark will want to have a big impression on this game. He's playing in France at the moment, coaching in France, and he should be fit and ready to ready to go. And there's another basic mistake from Western Samoa.
That was a magnificent tackle, and here come Wales again. Adrian Hadley, can he find a yard of space? He's still going, Hadley. Eventually, it's Mark Healy who gets back with a covering tackle. Play on, says the referee. The Welsh are up for it again. There goes Richie Ayres. He offloads to Ellis. Long ball thrown out, bit dodgy, but Wales come up with the possession. Sullivan tries to get in on the act. He can't get the ball. Oh, now surely he's got to go for that. It's Brian Lamatia, and he has got to go. He threw a punch.
Well, I think that is very, very silly indeed. If he doesn't get the right time, Brian Lamatieri, I'll be very, very surprised. This is big fight night from the veg. Wow, there's one goes in from Twigger. There's another one goes in there. Will he stay on the field? Well, it'll be very interesting to see what Mr. Smith does. He's been very lenient. There's a couple of cheap shots going again here. Lamatieri goes in again. Twigger tries one off the floor. Lamatieri does try one and connects.
He's got to go, but Quinnell might go with him because he threw a punch as well, Quinnell. He's got to go. I can't believe it. He must go off.
It looks as though he's missing half his ear. I don't know about that. It's certainly better. No wonder he's pointing to the ear. It looks as though somebody's had a little bit of the claret for lunch. It's definitely pouring out of his ear, and I'm surprised if he doesn't get a red card for that. He'll certainly write a red card round the ear.
Well, I can't believe he's still on the field. That's an unbelievable decision if he doesn't send him off.
Well, I think he's not over it yet. I think Russell Smith, well, I think he's been very, very lenient indeed. No wonder the crowd are booing. I think that definitely was a sending off offence.
He threw a punch off the ball. You've got to go off for that in rugby league, in any rugby.
Well, I think the referees have tightened up on that, and I think Greg McCullum, he said that refereeing in this game, in this tournament, has been excellent. When he looks at that, he'll have a few doubts.
More pressure to come from Wales. Quinnell puts the ball down. Well, that was certainly rugby union style.
Yes, and that was very, very clever indeed. He was going over the touchline. He probably took the wrong option there. But again, Wales are on the attack.
And they're playing some good rugby as well. Here comes Davies. Can they create the overlap? Hadley! Hadley gets the ball inside. magnificent tackle. He's in touch, and that was Mark Elia. And if ever there was a try-saving tackle, that was it.
And not only was it a magnificent tackle, this should have been a try. I think Hadley should have scored here. A magnificent tackle by Mark Elia. If ever there was a try-saving tackle, that was it.
Samoa with possession. Panapa across the line it goes, but they're still deep inside their own territory, the Western Samoans. 11 minutes left or thereabouts. 17-10 the score.
I think Wales would have really loved that try. That would have been the real clincher for them. That looked all the way to a try. The Welsh are on the feet. I don't think they should be singing yet.
It should have been a 4-pointer in the corner there for Hadley, and the chance is now gone. But listen to the noise from around the Vetch field.
Well, they've not had much sex and excitement from the Rugby Union, but they're certainly getting some excitement from the Rugby League. These supporters from Wales have given their back into the Welsh side 150%.
That should be another 6. The Samoan tried to strike at the ball, at the play of the ball. I don't think Smith's wiped it clean. He has now, I think he has. There was certainly contact from the Samoan player. Roland Phillips has had an absolute blinder since his introduction.
Yes, and still the tackling goes on and on and on. There's some ferocious tackling. When people say how hard is this game, all you've got to do is watch it. There's Graham Lowe and there's Jeanette Smith, the St Helens physio. She's giving a bit of advice. I don't know what advice, whether one of the players is injured. But down on the floor looks like Bateman. Oh, it's Jonathan Davis. I can't understand what's wrong with Jonathan. I think he's just running out of a little bit of puff. Might have caught a spur knee, I think, again. Panapa, a little bit of an accident. I didn't see anything in that, but...
Here come Wales again. The referee has wiped it clean. It's another 6 tackles for the Welsh. The action has been relentless from the very, very first minute.
Yes, and I think what you've got to say is that Wales really have had all the pressure, they've had all the class, and I think really they've looked the better side.
There goes Harris. Harris! He's running without his shorts.
Well, I think that's like, don't go without your rolo, but Houston Harris, he wasn't too worried about that. If he could have scored, he'd have run naked.
Here comes Phillips. Can't get the ball away. Oh, he can get the ball away, but they've lost possession, or have they?
Well, I think what he said is he passed the ball off the floor, and again, he might do him for mouth in here.
He's given a penalty to Western Samoa, I think.
I think there's a little bit of him. That's bad play from... Bad play, that's it. You've got to hold the ball when you're in that position. He's claiming, was it knocked out, Roland Phillips?
It's the Samoans who have the penalty, and there's some fuss on the far side. We've got an injury to a Welshman.
It looks like Devereaux. It looks like a knee problem, and he looks like the doctor's saying to him he's got to come off. Will that be a blood bin? It looks as though he's bleeding from the knee.
It is.
He's got the blood card out, and that means that Wales can have him back on if there's time to get him back on. There looks like a lot of stitches needed in that cut. And look who's coming on. Paul Aitchison. This is a kid who'll want to impress here. He's a big lad, he's a big match player, used to play with Wigan, now with Oldham.
And of course he got his chance because Scott Gibbs failed that fitness test. Aitchison came onto the bench, Hadley went onto the wing, and all the Welshmen have played their part tonight. And we've got 8 minutes of an absolutely pulsating World Cup clash here in Swansea.
And we've also got Jonathan Davis limping. That looks a little bit serious. I hope that is nothing but a little knock.
Well, they've only got one substitute left to use, the Welsh, and that's Kieran Cunningham. They've used the other 3, and it's, well it's been spilled all over the place.
That was shocking play from Twigger Marlett. He's just throwing caution to the wing. He panicked, he threw the ball, and really Western Samoa have got to settle down if they hope to get back into this game. Graham Lowe cannot believe it, what he's seeing. He's saying, what have I been coaching?
And don't forget, the winners meet England at Old Trafford on Saturday. Don't miss that here on live TV. Quinnell has lost possession.
And look at Clive Griffiths. Now he is definitely turning his head up. What he's saying is, lads, just hold the ball. Oh, to be a coach.
He's turned quite a bit of his hair out from the look of him.
Well, when he started this tournament, Clive had a big mop of red hair. You can see what's happened in 2 matches, and if he gets to the final, God only knows what's happened.
That's sloppy from Samoa, picked up though by Elia, and it's a good job he was alert to the danger. But the Welsh pile in again with the tackling, the 2 substitutes, Aitchison and Phillips, and there's another substitute, Desi Mayer back on. He's been in the sin bin. We're back level as far as players on the field are concerned. But the score in favour of the Welsh, 17-10. And here we come again with Bateman. Bateman still going, the fullbacks nailed him. That was an important challenge from Tremave on Bateman. Hall, Ellis, Quinnell.
I think a try here from Wales will certainly clinch this game.
Hall looks for support. Richie, yes! He's on the line. He couldn't be any closer without it being a 4-pointer. What a game. The big men are up and they're on. David Young is back on.
Yes, and I think Wales will be looking just for the 1 point here. They'll be quite happy with that, surely.
Ellis is running out of ideas, he's running out of space.
And he's also run away from the post, but you'll see what's going to happen here. Wales got to come away with some kind of points. Jonathan Davies is in an ideal position. Justin Harris, and it's there.
What a roar, and that could be the final nail in the Western Samoan coffin. It's 18-10, a drop goal for Justin Harris. All the Samoans were looking at Davies, and up popped your man of the match, Harris.
Well, I have said about this kid, he's not only a great player, he thinks the game well, he's cool, calm and collected, and pops it straight through the middle. I think they'll get this fella the freedom of the city tonight. The pubs round Cardiff, and round Swansea, and round Pontypool, they'll be buzzing.
There goes Viega Twiggamala, and that is offside, I think.
Oh, dearie me, I think Twiggamala's not having the best of nights. Look at the look on his face. If looks could kill, Russell Smith would be dead. Let's have a look at the kick. It's not gone the 10 metres. Does Twiggamala take it before it does? It's quite right, Russell Smith. The ball did not go 10 metres.
Martin Hall goes off to rapturous applause, and what a night it's been for the Welsh. They've enjoyed this rugby league game. Kieran Cunningham comes on, one hooker replaces another. Cunningham's got 4 minutes, but more importantly, the Welsh team are 4 minutes from a semi-final clash against England at Old Trafford.
Yes, and what a confrontation that should be. Wales versus England, a sellout. I mean, it's been a full night here, 17,000 people here tonight. There's people hanging off the roofs, there's people stood on top of the prison. As a matter of fact, I think 1 or 2 of the prisoners might have got out tonight, but who cares?
Well, there is a prison just to our left, and, well, as you say, who cares? What a night for the Welsh, and what an uplifting occasion it's been for the game in general. It's been a great World Cup. And the kick-off, or the restart, it's a penalty, isn't it? I forgot about that.
And again, Jonathan Davies had the distance, didn't have the direction, but who's wasting a few more seconds. He'll not be worried now. He knows they're 8 points in front, and I think Wales have deserved this victory.
Well, it's going to be a remarkable comeback now. We've got 3 minutes left. It's been a fascinating evening of rugby league action down in Wales, and there is Justin Harris, who really has played a unique part in this victory.
I think every man in the Welsh side should be proud of what they've achieved tonight. Not only have they given 100% commitments, they've been backed by a magnificent attendance here, 15,385.
And Wales haven't quite finished yet. They're on the charge again. This has been a real good victory for Wales, if that's what it's going to be, and it's looking increasingly like it now. 18-10 to Wales, 2 minutes on the clock, because I think a lot of people were tipping Western Samoa, and I must confess that I thought the Welsh would find it tough tonight. It has been tough, but they've come up with the goods when it matters.
Well, and that is a magnificent kick from Jonathan Davies. He puts Western Samoa man of the match, Scott Quinnell. I wouldn't argue about that. I think they could give it to anybody on the ground, including the gate man, and they'd be happy here tonight. That is a great kick from Jonathan Davies. Puts Western Samoa under a lot more pressure, bangs it back in the corner, and wastes some more time.
Well, they came to see a Welsh victory. There's going to be a lot of happy Welshmen in the valleys tonight, there's no doubt about that. And the tackling has not relented from the very first minute, and we're now approaching the last minute. Well,
I think this should be a great advert for rugby league, shouldn't it, in Wales? They're on about getting the game started in Wales. Will it take off in Wales? On this performance, I think you've got to say the answer is yes.
And the Samoans were lucky. Chance for Wales. Roland Phillips could seal it off. Ellis will. He's in. Wales have sealed a semi-final place against England. Ellis throws the ball all in the crowd. What a night it's been in Swansea. Ellis the scorer.
Well, you always want the best on live, and this is the very, very best. I don't need to tell you what they think. This is a magnificent way to finish a match. The Welsh lads are overwhelmed. It is a great try. Roland Phillips slipped the ball back inside to Ellis. Ellis has thrown the ball. He doesn't mind it. He never throw it back. But that is just about finished it. What a great try. A lot of sloppy play again from Western Samoa. They're panicking. Ball up. Out to Roland Phillips. Inside to Ellis. Thank you and good night.
And Western Samoa are going out of the World Cup. There is no doubt about it now. Just listen to this capacity crowd at the Vetch Field. What a night. I think they might be having a bit of a drink tonight, Alex.
Well, I would think so, and I think I might be joining him after this. That was a great and an important try. Roland Phillips, here you are, Kevin. Just put that to bed. Good night.
That's a great delivery from Phillips.
Yes, it was, and it was also what he did with the ball. And if Jonathan Davies kicks this, also, this will really kill him.
Just wide, but at 22-10, it's game, set and match to Wales.
And I think we might even get the Welsh coach tonight, Clive Griffiths and Mike Nicholas, buying a drink. They're not known for the generosity, but I think tonight, and here we have the try again, a little bit of panic football by Western Samoa. Wales snap on it very, very quickly, pick it up as quick as a flash. Roland Phillips, ball inside, Ellis, simple.
Well, it's the third Welsh try of the night. Harris got the first, Anthony Sullivan got his first of the night and his fourth of the tournament, and Ellis has just sealed it. Goals as well. And there it is, it's all over! Absolute delight on the face of the Welshman, and just look at that reaction to what's been a magnificent Welsh victory here tonight at the Vetch Field. 22-10 the final score. Harris, Sullivan and Ellis the try scorers. Davis with the boot, a drop goal as well from Iestyn Harris. What a night for the Welsh. We'll be back with reaction to a magnificent game after this break.